I just wanted to say the past 11 days have been really tough for everyone. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other.
Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy are actually involved in the tragic death of Twitch.
It almost has this slight undertone, like you're a little tired of hearing this narrative. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. That you're tired of hearing that narrative. Imagine that.
Now, if you haven't heard the talks going around Tinseltown, let me catch you up. It all started with the sudden and mysterious death of Twitch. Just days before his passing, Twitch was living his life. But then, everything took a dark turn. Reports surfaced of his untimely demise, leaving his family, friends, and fans in shock and disbelief. But what really sent shockwaves through Hollywood was the emerging speculation that Twitch's death might not have been as simple as it seemed. As the investigation went on, some pretty disturbing accusations started popping up, pointing fingers at none other than Ellen DeGeneres and Sean Diddy Combs. Yes, you heard that right, two heavyweights in the music biz allegedly tied to a sinister plot involving the death of this DJ. But before we get into all the details, let's take a moment to discuss how Diddy and Ellen could be involved in this whole mess.
How much money do you have on you right now?
I don't have any money on me.
You don't carry money on you?
No.
No.
I don't carry money. I mean, it's just a little bit of money on me.
Oh, you do have money on you. Lord have mercy. It's all 20s. Where are you going after this?
You know we doing what we plan to do, girl.
Now, Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy have shared a long-standing connection that stretches back through Hollywood history. While their bond may have appeared innocuous on the surface, recent revelations have cast it in a much darker light. Reports have surfaced suggesting that Ellen was not just a casual acquaintance of Diddy, but a frequent attendee at his lavish gatherings. We're not talking about your average soirees here, we're talking about the stuff of legends, the infamous parties that are organized for the elite Hollywood stars, and if these talks are to be believed, Ellen had a front row seat at these events, rubbing elbows with Diddy's world. But what exactly was Ellen's role in Diddy's inner circle? According to reports, Ellen's presence at these gatherings went more than socializing. She was looking at the illegal works of Diddy's empire, including the crimes that lurked beneath the surface. And if that wasn't shocking enough, there were reports of Ellen's alleged involvement in Diddy's freak-offs. From offhand comments made on her show to viral paparazzi footage capturing her discomfort at the mention of Diddy's name, these signs seem to suggest that there's more to their relationship than meets the eye. And the truth behind Ellen and Diddy's relationship may be far darker than anyone could have imagined.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have a good night. Have you been to his parties?
So, in this viral footage captured by paparazzi, Ellen's discomfort is obvious as reporters grill her about the allegations going around Diddy. Her usual jovial look is replaced by an uneasy silence, punctuated only by nervous eyes and surprising glances. It's a far cry from the confident and composed Ellen we are used to seeing, leaving many to wonder what exactly she's hiding. But it's not just Ellen's awkward interactions with the paparazzi that have tongues wagging, it's also her subtle hints at her presence at Diddy's after-hours parties on her show. In one of his previous episodes, Ellen engaged in playful banter with Diddy about the timing of his parties, coyly suggesting that she is familiar with the late-night incidents that go down behind closed doors. And if that wasn't enough to justify her interest in these activities, there's also the matter of Ellen's slip-up during a conversation with Diddy on her show.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
In a moment of candor, Ellen admits to being present at some of Diddy's freakiest and shadiest parties, sending shockwaves through her audience and leaving them wondering that Ellen is trying to hide some things and hesitant to address the allegations raised against her.
He was pure light, as everybody in the comments said. If you knew him, you knew that. If you didn't know him, you saw it.
Well, Ellen's past connects dots that leads us to the current scandal involving Twitch's killing. So, let's see what actually happened to Twitch. Well, it all started when he suddenly went missing, freaking out his family, friends, and fans. People got really worried when he didn't show up for days, and the cops started looking for him. As they dug into what happened, they found out some disturbing stuff. Twitch had checked into a hotel for just one night, acting all cool. But when he didn't leave the next day, people got worried and called the cops. Sadly, they found Twitch's body in the hotel bathroom on Tuesday with gunshot wounds. It's weird because nobody heard anything suspicious like a gunshot. On the same day, his wife, Allison, went to the cops to report him missing, which made the whole situation even stranger. They found a note, but then it kind of disappeared from the news, so people are now curious about what it said and what it means. Meanwhile, Ellen DeGeneres was acting extremely sad about Twitch's death and said some nice things about him. But now there are talks about what really happened between them. Why was Twitch alone in that hotel? Was there something shady going on, or was he dealing with his own problems? Well, the cops are trying to figure it out, and they have found some solid evidence, and that's the reason why people think there might be some big secrets involving Ellen and Diddy in the alleged demise of Twitch.
Everyone is in pain and trying to make sense of it, and we'll never make sense of it. And the holidays are hard, I think, anyway. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other, play games and dance and sing.
Ellen's controversial past has been filled with accusations of mistreatment and questionable behavior. There have been reports of her mistreating staff and colleagues, as well as specific incidents that have left a bad impression on many people. One incident that really affected Ellen's image was her interview with Mariah Carey. It was supposed to be a fun conversation between two celebrities, but Ellen started asking uncomfortable questions about pregnancy rumors. Despite Mariah's discomfort and attempts to change the subject, Ellen kept pushing and even offered her champagne to try and get a confession. This interview left a bad taste in Mariah's mouth, especially since she later revealed that she had a miscarriage shortly after it aired. But it's not just her interactions with other celebrities that have caused problems for Ellen. There have also been allegations of mistreatment towards her own staff and colleagues. Over the years, reports have come out accusing Ellen of creating a toxic work environment on her talk show. Former employees have spoken up about bullying, intimidation, and even racism, painting a dark picture of what goes on behind the scenes. Another former employee described Ellen as mean, while some accused her of ignoring instances of racism in the workplace. These allegations led to an internal investigation and the removal of several top producers from the show, but the damage to Ellen's image had already been done. Meanwhile, there are also claims that she played a role in Anne Heche's downfall. Their relationship caused a lot of buzz at the time because they were seen as pioneers for LGBTQ representation in Hollywood. But in a podcast interview, Anne made some shocking claims about Ellen. Anne said that Ellen tried to have her put in a mental institution and blacklisted her in Hollywood, which is similar to what has happened to other famous people in the industry who have been linked to Diddy. Sadly, just a year after Anne made these accusations, she died in a terrible car accident. At first, reports said that Anne was impaired and acting strangely before the accident, but the final autopsy told a different story. This has led many to wonder if Ellen had something to do with Anne's death. But the connections don't stop there. There are also eerie similarities between Ellen's past controversies and the current allegations surrounding Twitch's murder. People have accused Ellen of mistreating her staff and colleagues, as well as bullying and intimidating others. Her troubled history has left a trail of destruction, and now with allegations linking Ellen to Twitch's untimely death, it's clear that she has somehow affected Twitch's mental health.
Over a decade ago, I met someone who changed my life and our show. And I'm talking about you, Twitch. Come here.
A lot of folks have drawn parallels between Ellen's alleged mistreatment of her own staff and the circumstances surrounding Twitch's murder. Maybe Twitch was a victim of Ellen's toxic behavior behind the scenes of her talk show. A person commented saying, "I remember the episode where Ellen made Twitch get undressed and do all that on stage. It was so sick. And then we were supposed to believe that Twitch just got up, left his house one random day, went to a nearby hotel and himself. This is so sinister and it's real life." Another one wrote, "There's much more about Ellen that's being held back. She hasn't just watched, she's been an active participant at his foes. The illegal kind of actions. You recall the old saying, 16 will get you 20. In her case, it's 7 will get you 30. But what do you guys think? Do you believe Ellen and Diddy could be involved in Twitch's murder, or do you think it's all just wild theories? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.